Hey guys, Chad Lyman here. I want to talk to you a little bit about mindset and creating good outcomes. Where does our focus go when there's stress or there's challenges, or even in the middle of that tough fight? You're on that call and you're really in the mix and you're trying to draw on some reserves, and or just in life in general. And there's more of a life thing that can also be used in short spurts in intense situations. But it comes from my dear friend Robert Follis, and Robert used to tell us, you can't really tell what's in the future. In the middle of a fight or an altercation, you can't really tell how it's going to end if we're still in the fight and we're still going. But your mind can make up endings to life situations, endings to periods in your life where you're really struggling, or even in that fight, you're on that call from a law enforcement perspective, and you're on that call and you feel like you might be losing the fight. Your mind can assist you in either winning or losing. And we've seen this in the MMA world many, many times as coaches, but also this could apply to you and your individual circumstance. And Robert used to say, if you're going to make up the ending, why wouldn't you make up a positive one? Why wouldn't you make up one where you win? Why wouldn't you make up one where you're successful? And so let me say that again. If you don't know what the ending of a situation is going to be, and you're in some kind of struggle, the current state of policing, the current state of anything, if you're going to make up an ending to that, why wouldn't you make up a positive one? A tale of overcoming all odds, a tale of coming back, a tale of staying in the fight, a tale of overcoming resistance. Why wouldn't that be the ending you create? Because you can create whatever ending you want. It's so silly. I even used it recently. My wife's out of town. Anybody who knows me knows I've been married 30 plus years, and knows how completely into my wife I am, and how amazing she is to me. And she's literally the only girl that I pursue at all. So really into my wife. She's gone. She's just visiting family. It's not that big a deal. I actually support her going and doing that. Her and my son are in Phoenix on some good family business, so it's awesome. But you look at all the stress that's going on right now in law enforcement, and then we've had multiple deaths recently and different things, and there's just some other general stresses. And I was having a bad dream. It kept waking me up. And this dream was really weird. It wasn't a violent dream. It was a friend of mine that I know from high school was going to sing, and for some reason in my dream he's a really good singer. In real life he's not. But hey, if your mind wants to make up the ending, I guess that's one you could make up. But he was going to sing, and it was going to be great. And he had entrusted me with the music. And we got there on the day of the performance. There's people everywhere. And he says, hey man, where's the song? And I'm like, it's right here. And I'm paging through this pamphlet. It's got like 100 pages. And for some reason I can't find it and I can't locate it. And so all these people are watching us. It's getting really awkward. There's like all this pressure building. And it's so uncomfortable I actually wake up. And I'm like, oh man, that's a pretty vivid dream. I go back to sleep. It happens again. So I literally get woken up 3 times by this dream. Now, for all the scientists or psychological people out there, you're probably like, oh, well, that's manifest of stress in your life or whatever. It's really not about this silly singing competition that never happened. But it is so vivid, it is waking me up. And the words from my good friend Robert come into my head, and it says, hey, if you're going to make up an ending and dream about an ending, you might as well make up a good one. So literally, like I get woken up, that pops into my head, and I literally think to myself, oh man, I just found the music, and it's the best performance ever. And I begin to imagine that and think about it and feel it. And then I'm able to drift off, go back to sleep, and I sleep peacefully then until I wake up. And literally, this dream was so vivid, it kept waking me up. I literally felt bad for my buddy. as I was waking up and then realizing, oh, I'm not really there. And then I'd realize it was just a dream. But it was very real to me. And the second, even awake, that I was like, okay, cool. This has happened to me 2 or 3 times tonight. I'm going to literally imagine right now in my head, I'm going to imagine that we find the music and he starts singing and it's amazing and everyone's all happy. He's happy and I feel a relief of stress and I feel all the stress leave me. Literally, I just did that little exercise and then went back to sleep and slept. Now, that's a very small, kind of silly example. But anything that's going on in your life right now is temporary. Okay? Great times are temporary. Horrible times are temporary. They're all temporary. Nothing's written in stone. Struggle is coming for sure. Hard times are coming for sure. But if you could make up an ending to that hard round, to that hard fight, to that tough situation in your life, to that stressful thing happening to you right now, you're going to make up an ending to that anyway in your mind and how you feel inside. You might as well make up a great ending and then work towards that. And that's my little nugget of the day. Everything we do is not physical. A lot of the training that you should be doing is mental, spiritual, emotional, psychological. The key to being generally happy and generally positive is that your focus, the endings that you create for the scenarios that are pushed onto you by life, those overwhelmingly need to be positive. That goes hand in hand with hard training. Training hard's great, but you need to be training hard in a very focused, functional manner that allows you to win. Because it's important that you're figuring out the answers to those hard situations before you're ever put into them. So that when this guy attacks you or the things start going wrong on that call, you've been there 100 times before in your training and you've found positive outcomes. So your mind doesn't become preoccupied with going down this rabbit hole of, man, this is going to be the worst thing ever. No, it's not. I've been here before. It's not good what's going on right now in this call or this situation, but it's manageable. I've managed things like this before. I've been here before, and I'm capable of overcoming this. All of that's a big part of it. And even as you start, if you haven't thought about this stuff before, start intentionally doing it. And if I could give you anything kind of in closing, think about what my good friend Robert taught me years ago. That if you don't know for sure what's going to happen, you're going to have to fill in the blanks. You're going to have to make up an ending. It might as well be a great one. Guys, with that, have a great night and go train a little a lot.